Hi, everyone. Welcome back. If you've been with us earlier today or yesterday, or if this is your first session, welcome to the Brass Spring 2026 Online Symposium. I'm Nora McKenzie. I am the chair of the Business Reference and Academic Libraries Committee for Brass and also the co-chair of the Symposium Subcommittee, and well, alongside Kelly LaVoice as my co-chair. We also have a fabulous subcommittee that helps do all the behind-the-scenes work of putting the symposium together. Those folks are Christy Cunningham, Kate Cummings, Brian Garrison Wynn, and Doris Dewey. All of our sessions today will be recorded, and those and the slides for all of the presentations will be sent out to everybody who's registered. So if you haven't already, go ahead and mute your audio and your video as we get started. So thanks again for spending time with Brass and our presenters today. And I actually have the great honor of being the moderator for our next session. So for our next session, we have Aniyah Stubblefield, who's joining us from Milwaukee Public Library, and she's going to be sharing about Connect and Grow neighborhood business networking as a library outreach model. So I'll turn it over to Aniyah.
Thank you, Nora. And I'll be sharing with you in just one moment. All right. Thank you all for signing in today. My name is Aniyah Stubblefield. I'm a librarian 3 for Milwaukee Public Library. I work in the business technology department down here. And I wanted to speak to you all more about our program, Connect and Grow. It's pretty much a neighborhood business networking
So
event.
sorry, Aniyah. It says you've started screen sharing, but the slides haven't actually popped up yet. Would you be able to unshare and reshare them?
Sure.
Thank you.
Okay, can you all see it now?
Still, it's sort of loading. It says you've started, but it has double click to enter full screen mode, but it's still black. Oh, there we go. Perfect.
Okay. Sorry about that. But pretty much Connect and Grow is a program that we host throughout the library system, and I just wanted to share our outreach model with you all today. Okay, so we'll go over pretty much what Connect and Grow is, the program structure and program outcomes, scalable program model, and how you all can adapt it into your institution. So Connect and Grow was pretty much started with me and my coworker Sarah here at the Business and Technology Department. Pretty much, it would bring the downtown library's business and technology resources directly to Milwaukee neighborhoods. So pretty much there's 13 library locations in Milwaukee, with our downtown hosting a lot of our reference and specialty topics. A lot of people don't know how much we have down at the downtown location. So being able to bring those resources out into the neighborhood has been very helpful in the main focus of our Connect and Grow series. So we pretty much host a meetup every month at one of the different locations. So we have 3 clusters throughout the system, one north, one south, and one central. So we pretty much rotate through that system. So we can meet each neighborhood where they are. And it pretty much just gives small business owners and entrepreneurs a space to connect, learn, and access local organizations. So our goal is to pretty much turn the neighborhood libraries into community networking hubs. So our structure for our programs are networking focused. So we'll do a icebreaker to get everyone able to talk and get a little bit more comfortable with everyone. Me and my coworker Sarah will do a short presentation, like abbreviated on what the library has to offer small businesses. We typically have a guest, so one of our business improvement district reps will be at that program. They'll introduce their program and what they have to offer the neighborhood as well. And then pretty much the rest of the program is time for people to network with each other, share their business ideas and things that worked for them, things that didn't work for them. We'll pose a few different questions for them to ask if they need help with conversation starters. So the biggest thing that we feature is those business improvement districts and other community organizations. We offer refreshments that kind of gets the people coming in. And then we also have a promo table with upcoming library events. And we also give that chance for those people who attend to drop their business cards off. Any community events that they may know of, they can shout out that as well. So another part of our program is live demonstrations. So although me and my coworker, we tend to do a very abbreviated overview of library services, we'll go into a bit of detail about one of the databases that are offered with the library card. Um, so for instance, we just had a Connect and Grow, our last one for the season, actually, this past Tuesday, and we went over the database Guild Business Plan Builder. And we went into detail because there weren't as many people at that Connect and Grow session. So we did a deeper dive. Prior to that, we did an overview of the database Udemy. And then prior to that, we also did one for Reference Solutions, another big database that is typically used in business reference. Another thing that we do is we highlight our Book of Business Librarian program when we do the demonstrations, just because we're not spending a complete session on going over those, but it's a good way for us to promote that, where you get a 45-minute live session with the business librarian to go over like those databases where like market research, industry data, and other things like business plan help and related. Another part of our structure is community partnerships and space awareness. So us connecting with local neighborhood BIDs and neighborhood organizations here in the greater Milwaukee area, such as our chambers of commerce and similar programs. Um, that's the main thing that we're trying to do. A lot of people don't really know what is out there and what is in their community. So we get them to come in and talk as well. Um, we showcase the library as a flexible space. Our meeting spaces are free for use. So we like to highlight that as well. And then going beyond the program, getting people to have their business meetings at the library, or emphasizing our maker spaces, and our additional tech help and resources. Um, so yeah, that's one of the main things that we do as far as that. A lot of people don't know that we have maker spaces and we have certain software available for them to like edit documents. We have recording materials, so that people can really emphasize adding those things into their business for free. And then resource sharing. So the attendees can exchange info, different insights and different opportunities that they may have had. And word of mouth, really driving those real connections, actually talking to people in your community, you kind of find out a bit more information than you can from other resources. Um, and then typically, the people who come to these programs, they end up going to other events that the business and technology department hosts. So it kind of does build that strong relationship with Milwaukee Public Library and all of its neighborhoods. So some of our outcomes, so pretty much for these, talking about participants and the programmer outcomes. So for this one, the outcome was resource awareness and use. So attendees learn to use library business resources by exploring those free databases and tools, participating and watching live demos of business resources, and gaining practical skills for their business goals. So sometimes the workshops, we might have some different worksheets for them to work on to develop their business goals and ideas. Um, so things like that, we typically like to push for. A outcome for program delivery. Staff learn to run business-focused programs by using a structured, repeatable network model. So we use the same model for this trimester in our organization as far as pretty much the same, keeping it business focused, keeping it networking, and keeping it into the neighborhood libraries as opposed to our main location, our main campus. Um, we use that in previous cycles as well. We just make small changes as we move forward with it. Also given that experience to lead presentations and live demos, and then being able to create engaging participant-driven sessions. So our prior trimester, we didn't have the icebreakers, but we noticed that we needed the people to start talking and getting comfortable with each other. So we included that this time around. Community connections for participant outcomes. Um, the attendees build local business connections by meeting the community organizations, being able to shake hands with a local business improvement district representative or an elder person, or another significant person in that community, kind of builds the confidence to say like, hey, I met with you, I've talked to you in this space, and I might need help with finding funding for my business, or I may need help with learning how to market my business better. Are there more programs and opportunities for me there? And then also hearing other neighborhood insight. So if you have a business on one street in Milwaukee, I guess one of my examples would be our historic King Drive neighborhood. There's two ends of it. So someone that might be closer to our downtown in that historic King Drive may have a different experience with being in that neighborhood than someone that's a little bit further than downtown. So getting those insights from your community in a way that you probably wouldn't have gotten a chance to connect in another way. Some programming outcomes with the community engagement is building a relationship with local orgs and partnerships. Prior to this program, we didn't really have any bridges with the business improvement districts or neighborhood improvement districts. We reached out and we did that research to make that connection with them and to get them involved and wanting to be on our team as far as meeting with their communities in this type of way. And it builds really strong partners. Like, well, if we're able to use these resources and other programs, not just the connect and grow. And then learning more about community needs. One neighborhood may need more resources in a certain way than others. So I know like resources as far as ESL, people needing more information in like Spanish compared to other neighborhoods may not need that. They may need something else. Um, and then just growing the libraries partnership network. We tend to like to do that and have people on a list where we can reach out to them in the future. Another participant outcome will be networking and opportunities, networking with other entrepreneurs, seeing what worked for their business, seeing what didn't work for their business, and comparing those notes. Overall, learning about the library and the community support that they have. A lot of people don't think that they have the support from the community, but they really do. It's all about knowing those resources and finding those tools. And then again, finding the tools for long-term business success. So if you're just getting started off, meeting someone who's been in business for 15, 20 years, that type of mentorship, like relationship, really comes in handy, and it comes from programs like this. And then another program or outcome would be program growth and sustainability. So pretty much you can sustain and grow this program by tailoring the model to your audience and needs, using existing resources so you can keep costs low, and then promoting business service to drive the use of the library. I wanted to get into some of the different models that we use. So for instruction, building skills through learning. So our sessions combine live database demos and some guided practice. Let's see. So you learn how to navigate business resources efficiently. You get to apply tools to real world needs and gain confidence through hands-on learning. We'd like to keep our sessions pretty non-formal. It's very casual. And we give people the opportunity to ask questions when we're doing our presentations. Um, like you can interrupt us, you can say like, hey, can you go over this a little bit more for us? Prior to that networking session towards the end. Research, just understanding the local market, um, exploring the neighborhood demographics and trends, identifying local businesses, business and improvement districts were the main focus in our program for this trimester. Understanding community leadership and structure. So here in Milwaukee, if you speak to your elder person for your district, typically you can find more about like the local business improvement districts, neighborhood improvement districts, and other resources that aren't typically highlighted as much. Also understanding how everything works in that nature. There's like a hierarchy of who to reach to get to some of the resources that we have here, and then applying insights to inform business decisions. Um, that's another thing that we typically focus on. Professional development. The focus is understanding the local market. So you can analyze the demographics and trends. And this is a little bit extra. You will get to build your portfolio. You get to meet more people from these main goals. And then service and community, exploring impact through partnerships, um, activating partner organizations to pool resources. So sometimes we may have resources that other people don't, and just working together to make the best for our community. Building long-term collaborators, um, connecting with entrepreneurs to hyper local programs and support, partnering with BIDs. I'll talk about that a little bit more. And then the business associations to extend the reach, and then position the library as Milwaukee's small business resource hub. And so it is a scalable model. So you can use this in public libraries, like how we have it, universities, different chambers of commerce. Um, is adaptable. You can customize it for different industries, audience, and markets. It's cost efficient because you can use existing staff, space, and resources. I think the only thing that we provided that cost money was the snacks and beverages. Everything else was pretty much donated or just offered to us. So this program equips librarians or business advisors and outreach staff to lead. And then it unlocks new partnerships and revenue program opportunities. So adaptability and action. So it serves multiple market segments, academics, it integrates with college and universities. So if you use some of these programs as for credit or coursework or some type of co-curricular programming for student entrepreneurs, that would be great. Early staging, meeting aspiring entrepreneurs where they are, regardless of their experience level. Um, it gives business owners a platform to test ideas or promote services. There's also the flexible engagement. So there's low barriers for entry. So having low or no costs, not having a membership required, academic ready. It can be ran as a college course, a workshop, or a learning module, and then drives participation through networking. You can practice your pitch. You can apply new skill building opportunities. So one model market, multiple markets. So like I mentioned before, college courses, early stage founders, business stage, growth stage businesses, um, and then it can be provided free low cost, incorporated into classes. I know one organization here in Milwaukee, for participating in programs like Connect and Grow, they may offer grants at the end of those programs or those workshops. So I do have a pool that I would like for you all to partake in. Let's see. If you scan the QR code, it should bring up the surveys for you. And then you can do you'll just have to put in that join code.
I just pulled it up and it says there are no active polls at the moment. Just want to make sure I'm
Okay.
doing the right thing.
Back. I opened the pools yesterday just to see if they will work.
They always glitch right when you need them not to, right?
Right. I'm just gonna try and activate it really quick to see.
Sure. There it is. Yay.
Okay. I just have to minimize this really quick. Okay. Did the pool come up yet?
Yes, it did.
Okay. And this question was, where does your business support mostly happen? Give it a couple more seconds. Okay. So 83% of you all say that the business support mostly happens in the classroom or on a one shot type of session or embedded into lessons. Followed up by 52% online with guides and tutorials. And then the other 32% is through workshops or events. And then a few of you are still developing it at 8%. Okay. And then there should be another one now. What is your biggest barrier? Okay, a few more seconds. Okay, so the biggest barrier was 62%, not enough time or staff. Um, Low student engagement at 41%, and then hard to build partnerships as 36%. Followed by the last least one is not enough awareness, 27%. Okay, and then I have one more, and that is what feels like your most realistic step. Okay, couple more seconds. Okay. So, um, most realistic next steps would be at 56%, try new outreach approaches, 30%, 32% improve and expand instruction, 24% build stronger partnerships, and finally 20% rethink how we support how and where support happens. And thank you all for participating in those. I want to speed through these other slides. Um, but thank you so much for listening to my presentation. If you have any questions, feel free to leave feedback in the chat, or if you wanted me to elaborate on something for you all.
I have a question while people are thinking about it, if that's okay. And I'm sorry if you said this already. So, but I was curious, how did you end up marketing your Connect and Grow, and what was your typical attendance? It sounds like you've had a series of them over the different trimesters, but
Yeah.
yeah, just curious to hear a little bit more about that piece.
So at our institution, everything goes through our communications and marketing department. So that was the main goal with them. We mostly did it through LinkedIn and other social media, so like Facebook. But also we reached out to our partners through our business department and shared with them what we had going on. And we also spoke with the neighborhood business improvement district rep and gave them flyers for them to share with their network as well or put on their calendar. So that's the main way that we did it. Our attendance varied, and that does a lot have to do with how public libraries are. If the weather is too nice or if the weather is too bad, we may not have that many people. But we've had as many as 7 people come to a session to as little as one person coming. Our last one, it was a very nice day outside, so nobody came. 7 people did register, but one person came. And in that situation, we just kind of focus it on that one person. Then we're able to do more on what they wanted as far as their information. We'll still have like cards and other community resources to share with them. It's just not the networking that they would, potentially like. It's pretty much like a one-on-one. They network with us. And then typically in those type of situations, we push for the book of business librarian appointments, where we can connect them with more people.
Thanks. Thank you. And it looks like a couple more questions came in through the chat. Do you want me to read those or you got it?
Um, let's see. I don't see anything yet. Um, oh, can you give an example of a neat success story? Oh, yes. So we had a connect and grow at one of our northwest side locations. Actually, technically for us is one of our central locations, but there were about four people that came to that session, but there were two different business improvement district reps. Um, and they also have different things that they do outside of the business improvement district. So these are all business owners and entrepreneurs as well. They kind of met with one of the girls individually, and she had some business ideas that she just hadn't gotten off the ground yet, but she had her plan, she knew everything, and she was able to really connect with them to try and get her business open. We haven't followed up too much with her, so I'm not sure if she is actually like if she's actually launched her business. But seeing that type of interaction happen with that one person was great. The other people in that session were a little bit more quiet, but they also were able to share and everything. Um, but yeah, that was a pretty good success story. We also had another session where there was someone who used the ESL translator. So now we actually made a program from that, where we'll offer it with transcribers and everything. So that's a good story that came out of that too. We kind of want our programs to be like very accessible for everyone, and that's something that we hadn't thought about. So now that's just something new that we're offering. So it's not necessarily connect and grow, but the same idea. Um, and then someone also asked, what kind of support do you get from the branch library staff? Pretty much me and Sarah, we're doing our own research. We're looking at what organizations are in the neighborhood library. So we'll say, hey, we have a South cluster, a North cluster, and a Central cluster. So we're going to pick a library from each cluster for each trimester. And then we go through and we look for the business improvement and neighborhood improvement groups. We look for other community organizations that are near that library and we formulate that. So pretty much the branch staff don't really have to do much. Um, Ahead of time, we'll send them flyers to share with their location so that they know that we're doing this. But we wanted it to be really, we don't want to add more work to our branch library staff. So it's just something that we kind of focus on down here. Okay, and then someone says some public libraries here in North Carolina are discussing the language words they use to reach business people, which may not be library language. Do you have any advice on effective word choice, like for promoting the program? So pretty much since our communications and marketing program department handles pretty much everything that we send out, we'll give suggestions. And typically if they don't like it or they want to change it to fit what they say is more fitted for our program, our department and everything, then they change it. But typically we give like a few different options for how we do everything. I think the biggest thing is that they like to try and make it catchy. I know some of you might be familiar with Milwaukee Public Library having a good social media presence. So that's the thing that they try and do right now. I hope that answers your question.
I had another question too, sorry. Um, I'm curious, so it seems like typically you have like this certain format. Do you do like different themes ever or like repeat, invite the same people back and do like a part two where it's more advanced, or is that in maybe future planning, but not now? Just curious to hear.
Yeah, so we have similar programs. So one thing that we do is we highlight those databases, but we also have like a Start Smart Business series where we'll focus on business plans or we'll focus on creatives. So those other programs that we already have in our department, they go more into detail. Um, so yeah, that's pretty much like the part two is like we emphasize like, hey, thank you for coming here and thank you for talking to your neighbors. But we have, if you want this information, but in more detail, more formal, then come to this program as well, and we'll be going over this again, just in case, because sometimes people need the information over. Um, and then sometimes people come to, some of the attendees tend to come to other programs at different locations because they're like, hey, I might live in, on the south side, but my business is more towards downtown or like the east side. So I want to go and connect with these people over here. And I know another lady, she is a real estate agent and she kind of pops around to different programs too. Um, and I think we had one business improvement district rep who came to multiple programs just because she's super involved in her community and she has a business in her BID district, but she also likes to get other people from the Milwaukee area to attend or because she has a nail school, which is really cool. But she tries to get other people to know about it so she can recruit people in that way. Um, yeah, so that's pretty much that. We do have we go into detail in our other programs. We try and make this one like kind of fun.
No, that I think that makes a lot of sense. And I think you mentioned that too. I was just, yeah, that's great. No, and I love getting them on the hook for the other things. I think that's such a great
Yeah.
approach. All right, any other questions for Anaya? Lots of praise. I think there was one comment earlier too. So good to see a public business librarian. We don't often see that in the Brass Symposium, so it's really good to hear from you. And then yeah, some other praise for wonderful work you're doing to support your business community. Any other questions? All right. Don't see anything, but if it pops up, I'll grab it in a second. But thank you so much, Anaya, for sharing about the work that you're doing. That's really exciting. I'm really glad to hear that, you've been able to make some of those great community connections. I think yeah, you could see there was lots of comments in the chat. So folks are excited to hear what you're doing and learn more about
Yeah.
it. So thank you for taking the time to share with us today.
Yes, thank you. And then we're also gonna be, even though our last Connect and Grow was this past Tuesday, we're going to revamp it. So it's all ever changing for 2027. So it's gonna be even better. But business networking.
We'll keep our eyes out. If anybody in the Milwaukee area.
Yes,
Yeah.
let them know.
Fantastic. Well, thank you so much. Doris, if you want to go ahead and stop the recording.